The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Happy Thanksgiving to all, except Alan. Aaron Rodgers has brand new comments about a potential Jets deal breaker for his future next year. We'll talk about that and more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man.
Shout out to Jet fans that are still showing up. I don't know what sort of dysfunctional family they grew up in, but I feel like if you parents were two people that should have broke up but never did, you're tailor-made to be a Jets fan because it's a toxic relationship. The level of swag that Jet fans wear, you would think that they had like 4 or 5 Super Bowls.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Thanksgiving special. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're doing a Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale in the Jake Asman merch store. 25% off all items if you're a Patreon member. All you need to do is join the Patreon. You'll see I posted what the 25% off code is. Use that code and take full advantage at jakeasman.com and enjoy some new Asmaniac merch ahead of the holiday season. Hope everyone has a phenomenal Thanksgiving. Quick reminder, because I announced this yesterday, I'm hosting the Michael K. Show tomorrow with Ty Butler from 3 to 7 on ESPN New York. I've never done the afternoon slot on the station, so this will be my first time in for Michael, Don, and Peter. I don't hate Aaron Rodgers, so guess what? You won't have an Aaron Rodgers hate fest in the time slot tomorrow. Got a lot to say about the Jets, the Giants who played today, and a whole lot more. 3 to 7, ESPN New York. Let's have some fun. Looking forward to filling in for the guys with Ty. Let's talk about Rodgers right now on this very show. Some comments made yesterday from Rodgers that I think, depending how the rest of the year goes, do have a long-term impact on Rodgers' future with the Jets. Let me start with the most notable comment I thought Rodgers made, being asked about would a new offensive scheme with new offensive coaches be a deal breaker for you to want to come back to the Jets?
I've been part of a lot of new systems. If you go back to freshman year, sophomore year in high school. It was a different scheme than junior year, with a different scheme than I ran wingtail scout team. But we were I-backs, 21 personnel. And then senior year, we were a little more 11 personnel. Then went to Butte, and we were all either 21 or 5 wides. Then went to Cal, and it was under center the entire time. And then went to Green Bay, and it was old school West Coast. And Mike came in, it was kind of the next iteration of that. And then obviously Matt came in, and that was Shanahan's scheme with a little bit of variation. So I've been in a lot of schemes. Obviously I love Nate, I love Todd, I love the staff, but them not being here would not be a deal breaker for me, although I obviously love them.
So let's talk about that, right? It would not be a deal breaker if there's a new offensive staff that's brought in, new system. That tells me this. If Aaron Rodgers plays well these final 6, there is that possibility that he's back with the Jets. If a new coaching staff comes in, new general manager, first and foremost, comes in, and they survey their options and they feel like, look, with better coaching, we could get this team to be very competitive next year. It's a year-to-year league to begin with, and Aaron still gives us our best chance to win. I could see him being back. I think the idea that there's no way he's back with the Jets, I haven't bought it. Now, that's the caveat that he has to look a lot better than he's looked over these last 6. Now, one notable thing about this game on Sunday, the latest injury report doesn't even have Aaron Rodgers' name mentioned. He's not on the report at all. Even if he were a full participant, it's the first time since week 5 Aaron Rodgers' name is not on the injury report. That's a big deal. Jeff Ulbrich saying yesterday, this is the healthiest Rodgers has been in weeks. Prove that. Like, are we going to see the Aaron Rodgers that we saw against New England in the home opener at any point the remainder of the year? Because I need to see that guy if you're going to run it back with better coaching and hopefully a defense that's fixed. And I want a modern offense. This offense is too predictable. It is stagnant. And if Aaron's open to a new system, then it's at least on the table that he can come back if he shows you some life here down the stretch. Is it likely? No. I got to see it to believe it. But I think all these people who just talk about like there's no scenario he's back next year, his cap hit for the Jets is only $23 million. Now, if you bring him back, you're dealing with bigger dead cap over the next couple of years. I understand that. But for 1 year, Rodgers is back with my caveat personally being you're still adding a quarterback in the draft. Maybe it's not with your first round pick, but maybe it's a second round pick. Or maybe you do what the Ravens did when they still had Joe Flacco. They traded back into the end of the first round to get Lamar Jackson, who sat most of his first season. That to me is still on the table here. There's so many scenarios. I'll give you an example. A lot of Jet fans want Rex. Rex has already been on the record saying he would want Rodgers as his quarterback next year. Thinks that he could still win with him. But Rex has said he's going to run a modern offense because he thinks the Jets offense is a joke. He thinks it's predictable and outdated. This is Rex Ryan saying that, mind you. A guy whose knock when he was the Jet head coach was that he didn't know anything about offense. He was too hands-off with the offense. So if he could see that, everyone could see that. But I am curious to see what Aaron does on Sunday. Seattle does not have a great defense statistically, but the last couple of games they've looked really good. So they're better than what the season-long numbers would indicate. And if Rex feels that way about, hey, I'd want Aaron back, how do we know Mike Vrabel or Brian Flores wouldn't want that? So I still think it's unlikely he's here because we haven't seen any signs of the old Aaron Rodgers in a while, but he had the bye week. Aaron says he's healthy. He's not on the injury report for the first time since week 5. Let's see it. Let's see it. That's what I want to see happen here. We have all these conversations about the future of the Jets. Think about how many different times the different narratives of the season have changed. There's still 6 weeks to go. There's going to be more bleep that happens. Prepare yourselves. I feel like we're just scratching the surface of the BS that's coming. I hope I'm wrong, but I mean, let's be fair for what this season has been. One more from Aaron Rodgers here. Somehow I'm sure he'll be ripped for these comments, which makes no sense. This to me screams, I'm very aware on what's transpired with this organization this year.
A couple of weeks ago when we asked you about playing next year, you said, I think so. And then yesterday you said you're not sure. Did something transpire over the couple of weeks that made you shift a little?
Well, I think so, and I'm not sure, or not too far off. I think if you look at what transpired in those 2 weeks, Joe got axed. Joe brought me in here. There's uncertainty with, everybody on the staff. So I'm not naive to what the situation is, and if a new GM comes in and they don't retain Brick, I have to fit in those plans. So that's kind of the first part, because like I said on Pat's show, this is my first option. Yeah, I'd love to play here if I end up deciding to play, but there's got to be the want for them to want to bring me back and for me to want to play. But I think so was the truth, and I'm not 100% sure is also the truth today.
I mean, ultimately, I do think he was telling the truth a couple of weeks back when he said he intended to play. But now you look at where this Jets team's at, as he brought up, the entire regime that brought him in is not here anymore. And as Rodgers notes, which he's self-aware in those comments, it's up for the Jets, not Aaron Rodgers, if he's going to play for them next year. Aaron could want to play, and the Jets could say, look, thank you for your service. We're moving on. We're cutting you. Or we could try and facilitate a trade. But Rodgers has no trade, so it probably would just make sense just to cut him. Either you deal with the $49 million cap hit all in one, or you spread it out over 2 years to make it more manageable. That's up for the next regime to decide. What I hope happens here is this, regardless of what Aaron wants or what Christopher Johnson or Woody Johnson wants. What I want to see happen is this regime decide what they want to do. Because if you truly want the Jet job to be more attractive, you got to tell a prospective GM and coach, you guys get to decide what you want to do with Rodgers at quarterback next year. If you see on tape that you could win with him, that, hey, this offense was so bad, the coaching was such a problem, he still gives us a better chance to win than any available option out there, than Tyrod, than Jordan Travis, than drafting a rookie, then okay, let him go out there and come back if that's what they want to do. Or if they want to move on from the guy, then guess what? Let him move on from the guy. It's not a Rodgers decision. Now, his decision is whether he wants to play. I think he wants to play next year. Unless he gets his bleep kicked in these last 6 games, I can't see Aaron Rodgers wanting to go out this way. I think he would want to try it for one more year. But might not be with the Jets. That to me is up for a new regime to ultimately determine. And I think the new regime will base some of that off these last 6 weeks. How does he look? I mean, Rodgers this year is tied for 22nd in completion percentage, 26 in yards per attempt, average depth of target 26, passer rating 19th. Stat-wise, he's 19. He's got 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Is he the worst quarterback in the league? Absolutely not. Has he been a top 15 quarterback this year? He really hasn't. Has he been better than Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Tim Boyle, any of these guys the Jets have had since 2015, Ryan Fitzpatrick? Without question. But that doesn't mean that he should come back just because he's been the best Jet quarterback in 9 years. That's just how pathetic our quarterback situation has been. Outside of like one game here from Mike White, one game here from Joe Flacco, a moment or two from Zach Wilson. I mean, think about how pathetic the quarterback situation has been. But ultimately, when you look at the options for the Jets, it's not just, hey, does Aaron give us our best chance to win? He still might. It's, does Aaron give us our best chance to win? Plus, is it worth now, instead of a $49 million dead cap, $63 million of a future cap hit that you could either take all in 2026 or spread it out 2026 and 2027? That's what they're deciding here. It's why Aaron just doesn't need to play okay the last 6. He's got to make the decision where it's like, of course we're bringing Aaron back with better coaching. We fix the defense and we can be better. I'll continue to put this up on the screen because I don't think enough people are aware. The longer the Jets keep Rodgers, the more dead cap they deal with. It's $49 million next year if he goes after the year. Or if he's back for one more year, it then becomes $63 million. Now, they could split it up, right? They could do $14 million next year, $35 million the following if they want to divide that $49 million up over 2 years. They could divide that $63 million up over 2026 and 2027. But ask yourself this. Aaron Rodgers, he plays for the Jets next year. There's no way they would take $63 million straight on the cap in 2026. No way, even with the cap going up. So you're spreading it out over 2 years. Do you want to deal with $42 million in dead cap in 2027? I don't. Unless he goes out there and balls out down the stretch, and then it's like, okay, you know what? We'll worry about it a couple years from now. We believe we could be the Chargers or the Broncos or the Commanders or the Texans. We get the right coach in here to go with this quarterback, and we're competing for a playoff spot next year. And why would a new regime want to deal with hurting their future cap? I don't think it's worth it right now. I'm willing to be open-minded because things change, as we've seen with this year. But I don't think it's worth it right now. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're giving you a Thanksgiving show. Happy Thanksgiving to all the Asmaniacs. We're presented by Underdog. Make the games interesting today. Get your Underdog picks in. Promo code Asman will give you a deposit match up to $1,000. I'll be back on the show tomorrow and Saturday with a Jet Seahawk themed Underdog pick'em. But take advantage right now. Promo code Asman. Get the picks in. I got an Underdog slip I'll share with the crew right now. Let's see. We put this in earlier. This one is Caleb Williams under 230.5 passing yards. Jared Goff higher than 0.5 rushing yards. And Amon St. Brown higher than 69.5 receiving yards. So check it out, folks. Get your picks in for the 3 Thanksgiving Day games that we have coming up today. Shout out to Underdog for being a part of our show. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. It's Thanksgiving. Thankful for all the Asmaniacs watching the show. We'll get to your super chats here. Those always go first. First one is from Kyle Clifton, who says, I think he's going to play well and make the choice hard. Good. Honestly, even if he's not back with the Jets, but he plays well, maybe they can get something from him in a trade. Doesn't hurt. Rich writes in, hit the like button for Thanksgiving Jake. Amen, Rich. Rock this monster. We're getting a Thanksgiving show. Jake, you're a legend. Happy Thanksgiving. And you're getting a Black Friday show tomorrow. Fireman Ed, 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern. So we'll get Ed on the show, and then I'm doing 4 hours of radio on ESPN New York. I'm filling in for the Michael K show tomorrow with Ty Butler. Gator writes in, happy Thanksgiving to all except Alan. I hope he has a grapefruit-sized hemorrhoid. Amen. Well said, Gator. Marvelous 33 says, I think that Aaron will play well these last few weeks and make the decision hard. But we have to leave it up to a new regime. There's no other way. Yeah, the only way you can get top candidates if you say you have full autonomy to make the decision on who your quarterback is. That's how it's got to be. Joe the Jet with a super chat. Is Drew Aller realistic, or is he going back to Penn State? I think the rumblings is he's going to stay in school, but who knows? Elton says, happy Thanksgiving, Jake and fellow Asmaniacs. Happy Thanksgiving to all, including the great Tom Ace. All right, let's get to some calls here. Gusbuster Hotline is open. I'll get the membership coming up as well, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you like the video. First up on this beautiful, not really beautiful if you're in New York with the weather, but first up on this wonderful holiday is Bob from Vermont.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Happy Thanksgiving, Bobby.
Happy Thanksgiving, but don't complain about the rain. Guess what we got? We got snow.
Oh, you got snow in Vermont.
We got 5 inches of that crap. Yeah.
When was the last time you took your robe off, Bobby? I feel like you've been wearing the robe for like 4 weeks straight. You own any other articles of clothing these days?
Well, it's cold up here. Yes, it's robe. Yep. So, yep. What about if you said that you think the Jets could get something for Aaron Rodgers? What do you think it would be?
I mean, some sort of draft pick. I wouldn't expect much, but
not much.
But that's only if he plays well these last 6 games. That's what we're saying.
Well, if he's telling the truth, we'll see it on Sunday if he's telling the truth, right?
Well, the Jets are undefeated with Bobby Midnight in the building, so we'll see if that carries some weight.
I'm saying if he's not lying, we'll see the truth. Because he's been lying, I think. He's just lying that he's not healthy.
Well, I think he's a warrior, right? He doesn't want to take himself out of the lineup. I think
he's gonna he should tell the coach the truth. You gotta do that.
They know he's injured. They don't have they don't have the balls to bench Aaron Rodgers because he's injured. He wants to play through it.
Ass right away and put in. That's why you got Tyrod Taylor, right? Tyrod Taylor for.
It's too late to do that now. It's too late.
Oh, well, they're idiots.
There's 6 weeks left, and we'll see if he looks healthy after the bye week.
Yeah, guess what I'm going to do after this show?
What are you going to do?
Have my own show.
On Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
You're nuts.
If you could, well, what are you doing? You're nuts, too. Join the party.
Let's
have a party.
I know I'm nuts. Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving. Let's have a party. It's going to be a crappy one up here in Vermont. But
what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, I probably have to have raviolis tonight. Cause I can't go in. We can't go anywhere. It's bad weather out there. The roads are crappy out there.
Where are you spending Thanksgiving?
Here, my apartment, because Michael and I can't drive to Keene, New Hampshire. That's where my parents are. So
where's Michael?
Michael's at his apartment. He lives like 5 minutes away.
Are you going to walk over?
Yeah, I'm going to walk over to Guilford. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I see. So you ordering some food?
Yeah, no, I gotta make my own food. I got
Ah.
raviolis, Italian. But then when I get down to Sunday, I want some pizza, New York pizza. That's
You want
what
some
I
New York pizza?
Yes, not this crap up in your mind. But there's a restaurant called Amuto's that tastes just like New York, but nothing like that.
I see.
But I think I'm gonna be nice and warm. We're gonna have with the jacket on.
You better bundle up.
Yes, I got my gloves for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta pick me up on at 5 o'clock in the morning. They're gonna drive me down to the game. We get down there by 9. Then we're gonna have to gate. And after the party, we'll go back. We're gonna stop in New York to get some pizza, and on the way back, they're gonna drive me to Vermont.
Wow.
They gotta have 3 drivers, so that's not too bad. You know how Clancy likes to stay up.
What are your thoughts on these people going out of their way to pick you up and drive you back?
I tell them they're awesome. What you remember what they did to me over at the Halloween game? Remember?
Oh, I remember.
They got me the golf cart. They got me the wheelchair. They took great care of me, Nick, Nate, and you. And
you should bring the orange chair to the tailgate.
Yeah, they said they could bring that in the thing.
Great.
Yes, we're gonna bring that down because they could stick it in the trunk. Yeah. I'm not going to bring it down on the train. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, but on the trunk, you can bring the chair.
Yeah, no, I don't have to worry about it. I'm coming back the same day.
That's
Sunday to Sunday. It might be Monday morning, but that's fine.
I see. Are you going to charge people to sit in the chair at the tailgate?
I might. You know what I am.
You're a capitalist.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah.
I learned it all from Jake Asman show.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bob. Well, you have a great Thanksgiving, all right?
How do you think this show call went? Great?
Tremendous.
Okay, you are tremendous too. Hey, you're at your parents' house now, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you didn't go to your parents' house yet? Oh, okay.
No.
I was good. Oh, tomorrow you're going to be on at your parents' house?
No.
I think you're going to your parents for Thanksgiving.
I'm working tomorrow. I'm doing the Michael K show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't go tomorrow. Okay, all right. Well, you enjoy your wherever you're having your Thanksgiving.
You too, Bob. Enjoy the ravioli, all right?
Okay, yeah, that's what I could have today. I want turkey, but...
Nah, turkey stinks.
No, it does not.
It's overrated. It's so overrated. If the Pilgrims knew any better, they would have just had steak, but turkey was more convenient at that time.
I watched the Saturday Night Live Thanksgiving special yesterday. You had to see what was on it. Oh, my God, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah?
I can't see it right. It's a family show.
Wow.
I'll tell you later on my show if you want to hear it.
All right. You have a great time.
Okay. Talk to you guys later, everybody. Love you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, Bobby Midnight.
Oh, you know I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Rodgers met. I'm more than just a hat on Bobby.
I've had my take on turkey for years. I would get ridiculed on the radio, especially in Houston. Turkey's overrated. It's fine, but if it's so good, why do we only eat it once a year? You know, we eat steak year round. I've said it. If the Pilgrims knew any better, they would have steak. So I'll be having steak today, not turkey. I gifted a channel membership. Happy Thanksgiving. Thankful to all the Asmaniacs. So if you got the membership,
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas.
You will hear your name called right now. Listener. Where is this? Listener Duncan Lloyd is the recipient of the membership. It's just $5 to gift your fellow Asmaniac a membership, or if you just want to sign up yourself, hit the join button. You can only gift, I believe, from the desktop or laptop, though, which is stupid, but that's how YouTube does it. Rex Ryan's in the house. What's up, Rex? Do you think Vrabes would keep our coaching staff if hired? Majority are from his coaching staff days in Tennessee. And let's get some turkey. I think the misconception with Vrabel is that he would keep all these guys. He fired a lot of these guys. And then Salah hired them, which should tell you something. No, I think Mike Vrabel would make significant changes to the staff. He might keep some of the defensive guys because I do think the Jets actually, contrary to how the defense is played, do have some pretty good assistants on that staff. But it'd be a new staff. What gives me hope about Vrabel is that this guy has hired 2 offensive coordinators that became head coaches. So he does have an eye for talent in that regard. I do like Rex adding, now let's go get some turkey. Now let's go eat some GD turkey. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Sing along.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. You tried to throw him away, but this man's coming back. Sometimes he's fat or thin. That waistband makes him slim. He's got the fix you need. They call him sexy. Rexy.
Fuck Gruden, he's no Jet. I'm here to crack some skulls. I'll turn these boys to men. This team is stacked with pros. Hire me, it won't break your purse. I'm here to break the curse. They call me sexy. Rexy. Fuck all you naysayers.
Ooh, sexy. Ooh, he's such a Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's such a Rexy. Sexy. Ooh, he's such a Rexy. Sexy. He's such a Rexy.
I mean, come on now. Sexy Rexy, baby. Is he coming back? Is he? If you're tuning in late, reminder, all Patreon members, merch store through Cyber Mondays, 25% off every item. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you plan on buying any merch with 25% off, you better join the Patreon first. Then you're getting basically the first 2 months of memberships with the amount of money you'll save. Thank you to everyone who supports us via Patreon. To all of you who cancel as if I have anything to do with the Jets losing, shame on you. But I appreciate your support. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. NB, Bailey, CB, Victor, and Paul are 5 most recent Patreon subscribers. Let's say hello right now to the Hamburger who joins us next. What's up, Hamburger? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Beautiful day today. Other than the weather.
Gorgeous outside.
Doesn't matter. It's a good family day. Everybody's going to go and argue with their families politically.
Right. That's right.
Best day ever. I'm sure I'll be having a fight with my mom at some point today.
I love it.
But listen, man, Jake, I agree with you a lot on the Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, I think I mentioned it on the show the other day when I watched him on McAfee, that he looks like a guy that is willing to change. And hi, Gabrielle, is willing to change and go for a new offensive coordinator and new coaching staff. I think he knows that it's do or die time now, these last 6 games, because you kind of see it in his face that if he doesn't succeed in these last 6 games, it's pretty much that's it for him. So I think he really does want to stay with the Jets. That's for sure. But whether or not he can put it together these last 6 games and show us the New England game over and over, I'd be all in for it. I would be for it. But if he comes out and he do not play with that knife, please. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. You want to say hello? Yeah. You want to say happy Thanksgiving? No, I guess not. Oh, now come on. Say happy Thanksgiving. Never mind. All right. So yeah, like I said, I think if he does come out and he plays good, I think he's a good option for us to keep, without a doubt. He's a good option for us to keep. It's going to hurt us 2 years from now for the cap, but if we can get into the playoffs and we can get a quarterback underneath him to learn for a year, I'm all for it.
Then you could deal with the cap hits down the line because then you wouldn't be paying your quarterback a lot of money, so you'd be okay.
Exactly. One other thing I want to touch on before I get out of here, because I got to head out to Long Island, is I didn't know about the Jordan Travis injury as much as I did now. I thought it was just a leg injury. I never looked back on it. I didn't do any diving into it, but it's exactly the same injury I have, like to a T. The dislocation, both sides broken with the plate, with the screws. It's a hell of an injury, man, and it's going to take some time to come back. But like my doctor said, I'm not going to be 100% like God made me, but pretty close. So it just takes some time, and hopefully he can come out next year and play in some preseason games and get an idea what the kid looks like, and if he can play, maybe he'll be a valuable backup.
Anything you get from him is a bonus, right? First off, the regime that took him is no longer in place, and he's a 5th-round pick. Like, if he ends up developing into a long-term backup, you hit on a 5th-round pick at the quarterback spot,
Exactly. And, you get to see Allen this week, with Brees not being in. You get to see Allen. You get to see what he's made of. Maybe see if he can catch the ball out of the backfield a little more. It'd be nice to see. So, hopefully Brees gets healthy and we get him back the following week. But let's go Jets this week, and everybody happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys soon.
Hamburger, happy Thanksgiving to you and your daughter in the background there. Love it. Gabrielle, happy Thanksgiving. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Jaden D'Angelo, who never calls this show but loves to rip others, writes in, you're not 24, Hamburger, or a pro athlete. Damn, Jaden. Happy Thanksgiving to you, you miserable bastard. Appreciate everyone watching on Thanksgiving here. Joe writes in, happy Thanksgiving, Jake, and all you Asmaniacs. Happy Thanksgiving to every Asmaniac besides Alan, who we sent to the hole before the show started because I was tired of seeing his comments about the Lions today. Go watch a Lions show, Alan. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not tell this guy to call in. We have content creator royalty on the line. The great Dom C is up next. What's up, Dom? Happy Thanksgiving.
Jake, how are you, buddy? Happy
I'm
Thanksgiving,
good, man. What a nice surprise.
I was editing a video, watching some tape, and I have Twitter in the background, and I saw that you were on, so I figured I'd just come on and say hello. That's all. Happy Thanksgiving.
You just made me feel good because the reason why I stream the show to Twitter is basically to let people know, oh, Jake's on, let me get to YouTube. And it worked.
Yeah, it works all the time, man. It works all the time. How you doing? All right?
I'm hanging in, man. You know, the Jets are 3-8, but we're thankful for the Asmaniacs and doing this show every day.
Listen, it is. I'm upset that the Jets are 3-8. Let's call it what it is. I'm a fan first, but this is go time for me, man. I couldn't be. I'm like a pig in shit, if you will.
We're relying on you, Dom, and we're gonna get you on the show a lot to break down all the college guys. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Like I said, just edited a video. Got some film on one screen and listening to you in the background as always. So I figured I'd come in and say hello.
I love it. I got some questions for you, Dom. All right,
shoot,
you ready for this?
I'm game. I got time.
All right, I wanted to. So we know about the top two quarterbacks, right? I've asked you about that. Where else is this draft intriguing to you? Like I remember last year we had the three big receivers and Bowers, right? You had the weapons who could all go potentially in the top 10 in addition to all the quarterbacks. You had the two stud tackles we thought in Fashanu and obviously Alt before that. Like, who are the top guys to watch at the non-quarterback positions this go around?
Oh, man. So interesting. I don't think it's the strongest draft class top to bottom yet. Now, you still have a lot of guys who have not declared or saying they're going back. So, take that with a grain of salt. Looking at the class as a whole, positional groups of strength, I think it's a really, really good deep tight end class. There's no one of Brock Bowers level. There's no talent that high, but there's probably, I'd say, an easy half dozen guys that are going to go, between rounds 1 and 3, maybe more, maybe up to 8. I think the running back class is very deep as well. Again, probably not a positional need for us. But our old regime used to always plug away and take a running back at some point. You're going to get a guy that falls in this draft class day 3 that's going to be a real impact player. I think the defensive end class, the edge group is really deep as well. The top end talent, there's no Aiden Hutchinson, maybe not even a Kayvon Thibodeau-esque guy, but there's a lot of good solid. You'll get a good solid starters anywhere from rounds 1 to 3. Where it's weak, I think there's a couple, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 really good wide receivers. But I think that class drops off well. It's probably one of the weaker offensive line groups that I've, myself put my eyes on over the past couple. There, I was talking with Glenn Naughton from Jet Nation before, who was a guest on my my podcast as we were recording something, and we were both saying that we're talking about the class, and it's the first time in a while that there's not that one dead set offensive tackle prospect that you say, oh, this guy's going to be awesome. The answers to this offensive line class is, can he stick at tackle? And if that's the first thing that you're thinking about, it's probably a down year. Like I said, no disrespecting some of the guys are talented, but Will Campbell's a name from a guy from LSU. He's had a great collegiate career, but he's going to have questions similar to when Peter Skoronsky came out of Northwestern. Probably a better guard, similar to AVT. Played tackle, probably a better guard. Then the next couple guys, Ariante Ursary from Minnesota, Kelvin Banks from Texas, they're guys that could play tackle, but if it doesn't, there's still questions on if they're gonna be able to stay there. They might be better guards as well, or at least have that flexibility. And a guy that I really like out of West Virginia, Wyatt Milam, he for sure is going to be a guard at the next level just because he has like 31-inch arms. I mean, that's just not going to play a tackle. It's a shame because I think his skill set, I mean, he's allowed one pressure in 2 years at left tackle for West Virginia. I mean, a real talented guy, just, doesn't have the body makeup. So, to answer your question, I think the edge group is pretty deep. I think the tight end group is really, really deep. And the running back group. Outside of that, there's a lot of questions, man. There's some high-end quality defensive backs at corner and safety, and I think both of those classes kind of fall off the edge. In typical Jet fashion, unfortunately, it's not the year that I would like to have a top 5 pick, and it looks like we are heading right down that avenue. So, there's going to be, you're going to see a lot of teams that end up, taking picks that, the casual fans be like, what? I didn't have any. Remember when Will McDonald was taken at 15, everyone's like, no way, he's not a first round caliber guy. But that was a class similar to this one where there's not going to be a lot of guys on, that are constant on all draft boards all along the league that have first round grades. Maybe about 11, maybe a dozen guys will have first round grades. And after that, it's going to be a bunch of question marks.
So it's not that deep of a draft class, essentially. Is what
It's not that deep of a draft class. You're right. It's not that top heavy of a draft class. I think last year we were spoiled. There was a lot of good talent in the first round. And it's just, it's just not like that this year, whether it be that, a lot of guys already came out, they came out early, or a lot of guys are going to stay behind for NIL money. You look at the quarterback class as a whole, we all know the top 2 names, right? We know that, we know what Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are. And those are guys that obviously are going to be taken probably within the top 10, if not earlier. But if you compare those 2 guys, if you plug them into some of the draft classes of years past, I mean, I don't think either Ward or Sanders, probably sniffed the top 3 or 4 if they came out last year. Now they couldn't, or I guess Cam Ward could have. But there's 3 or 4 guys that you take before those guys. So that tells you that's a good litmus test to tell you where really, the talent lies in this group. Tedero McMillan, T-Mac from Arizona, 6'5" receiver, very good. Probably the 4th or 5th receiver if he had come out last year.
Yeah,
so it's that kind of talent.
You said it's deep at tight end,
Very deep at tight end.
No first round tight end, but
there is some first round tight ends. There's a couple of them that could go. Colson Loveland from Michigan. He's your, kind of your big slot move type tight end, more of a receiver than blocker. Tyler Warren from Penn State. He's more of your inline block. I'll put it this way. I'll compare. I'll give you the best off the top of my head pro comps. You get a guy like Tyler Warren, he's more Trey McBride, where he's a little bit more in line, can do it all, good blocker, solid receiver, not a burner, not going to beat you downfield. And then you have Colson Loveland, who probably will also go in the first round. He's more Dalton Kincaid, that big slot receiving type tight end.
I don't want to do it in the top 10, but second round, I'd be okay if they took a tight end this year.
No, absolutely. And listen, call it what it is. Call me a hater. I'm of the belief that I don't know if tight end is a position you ever want to reach for in the top 10, which is why I wasn't knocking Brock Bowers as a prospect last year. He was wonderful. I think he was number 4 on my board, but positional value means something. And it means something. It means something to me, but it also means a lot to 32 other teams in the league.
I mean, it's good to hear you wearing a Bowers boy.
It's a Bower boy.
I don't need to relive that saga. Yikes.
Correct. And listen, you're going to be ready to relive it because if the Jets spend, a day 1 or day 2 capital on a tight end, which is very possible, the Bowers guys are going to come out of the woodworks. And, hindsight being what it is, listen, Bowers is talented, but I'm still not.
It was never about that. It was right. And that's what the Bauer.
Yeah,
people
you're
don't
right.
Understand.
You're right.
It was always just about is it too big of a risk for the Jets in an all-in year to take a tight end in the top 10 when they have such glaring needs at offensive tackle, given they led the NFL in O-line injuries the last 2 years and their 2 starting tackles were injury prone, or one and Morgan coming off an injury, and Tyron Smith's always been injury prone.
Oh, and listen, especially with this tackle class as it stands right now, like I am grateful on Thanksgiving. I am grateful that we locked in a offensive lineman. We have our left tackle, hopefully for the next 10 years.
That's one of the
injury.
selling points of this job for a prospective coach. You have probably 4/5 of your offensive line intact going into the season already.
Yeah, correct, and good and young. They got some decisions to make with AVT.
He's under contract for one more year, though.
He's under contract for one more year. I don't know if you want him to play at $15.5 million, and maybe they do. To me, and I'm not the GM, but I think you have to make a hard decision that you're either going to extend him and give him a long-term contract to kind of make that number a little more palpable, or you're going to, or you consider trading him. And I don't know if that's the right avenue. I don't know what the right avenue is. There's no denying the talent of AVT. You can make a big case that the availability of him over the first 4 years of his his first 4 years of his tenure is sketchy at best.
100%. Any thoughts on this game Sunday, Dom? You confident in the Jets off a bye with time to prepare? They're going to be ready to go for once?
I am not confident coming off a bye for this regime, this roster at all. Listen, Seattle's a good team. Do I think the Jets are going to get dog walked? Probably not. Do I think the Jets have a chance to win? I'd say so. Am I confident that they're going to win? Probably not. Seattle's defense is under, very sneaky, very underrated. Their defensive line has been coming to play mostly of recent weeks. So, they're going to give our offensive line some fits. They're going to put pressure in the face of Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, it's a sad song that we sing, but we will go as far as our offense will take us. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, this year our defense has kind of come back down to, the middle of the pack, if you will, if not lower. And we can score 24 points and still lose 28-24. We learned that last week in Indianapolis, or 2 weeks ago in Indianapolis, nonetheless. So
100%. I just want to see how Aaron plays, because he's on the injury report, says he's the healthiest he's been. He had the bye week. Because I think any scenario where he's back next year is contingent on him looking a lot better these final 6 games here.
Can we just have a first drive that is successul? Like, right. I mean,
I can't touchdown, right?
Yeah. Can we score a touchdown in the first drive? Can we do something? Can we look like we're an NFL caliber team in the first quarter for once? I mean, that if we could do that, I'm going to say this bye week was I'll check it off as a win, man. It's been rough, man. That those first drives, these 3 and outs and punts, or gain a first down on a penalty and then end up punting. I mean, it's painful. It's painful.
Dom, happy
Yes, sir.
Thanksgiving to you and your wonderful family. Appreciate you hopping on, man. This was a nice surprise.
Likewise, man. Do the same. Best to you. Best wishes, and we'll talk soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dom C. Make sure you guys check out his work. He'll be on the show a lot. Once we get closer to the offseason, get to the draft, Dom is the guy for breaking down prospects and draft strategy and everything. And if you've been a longtime viewer of the show, you remember his appearances over the years. And I got to hang out with Dom in London as well. Before we watched Robert Saleh's last game as Jet head coach. Little did we know. Hey, huge shout out to Bobby Midnight, who gifted a channel membership. Yeah, that was a low ding. What the hell? Bang! We'll give you a bang instead. Listener Andres 1K is the recipient of the channel membership. Bobby wasn't done. He signed up to become an Asmaniac on his own as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight, double bang. Bang! All right, open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Kyle writes in, Travis was never playing in 24. Real setback, ? Well, here's why it's a setback, Kyle. He was supposed to practice by the end of the season. He's going to go a full year in the NFL without playing in a single practice, participating in a practice. He's not cleared to go out there and play. So he's not even getting like mental, or he's not even getting like any reps in practice. He's just only getting like mental reps watching. It's still valuable to be in a meeting room with Rodgers and Tyrod all year. But, the Jets thought he'd be out on the practice field late in the year. Bobby writes in, happy Thanksgiving to all my friends today. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Last chance to get in. We'll end the show. We don't need to do a long show on Turkey Day, but for those of you driving, I wanted to make sure we gave you guys some content to listen to on your way to your Thanksgiving feast or whatever you're doing on this Thanksgiving holiday. Brazil writes in, whatever quarterback we draft, we need an offensive coordinator also. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. Mike says, post the call-in. PBM, the call-in has been posted. All right? Get off your bum rear end and figure it out. Just kidding. I'll post it for you. Let's say. Nick Shine writes in, Dom breaking down college guys. I'm trying to break down college women.
Calm your freaky down.
Even on Thanksgiving, you sicko. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to Purple Belt Mike. PBM, happy Thanksgiving.
What's up? Oh, my picture. What the hell happened here?
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Have you moved from your couch? I feel like you only sit in that one position all day.
Only when I'm calling and laying down. Look at my dog.
Love it.
I love this dog.
Love it.
Yeah, just want to say happy Thanksgiving, all the Asmaniacs, man. You know, hopefully we don't embarrass ourselves, but I see an embarrassing loss, unfortunately. But better for draft capital, I guess. So see what happens.
We're at that point now where if they lose, you can be mad for a little bit, but then be like, all right, in the long run, what does it matter? We're getting a better draft pick.
Yep, we've hit that point. So that's it, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for doing the show.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Mike? What's on the agenda?
I'm going to my sister's house. We have all of our family there. I actually made, if my dog wasn't on top of me, I'd get a picture of it. But it's a pumpkin pie with a turkey made out of it.
I love it. That's awesome. Put that in the Discord.
Yeah, throw it in the Discord.
Hell yeah. Mike, enjoy it, all right?
Peace, you too. What are you doing?
I'm going to my aunt and uncle's house.
Long Island?
Long Island, yes, sir.
Nice. How far east?
Not far east at all, actually. So Roslyn, so not far.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, man. Peace.
PBM. God bless. Tune into the K Show tomorrow. Call in, all right? Tell the company.
Will do.
You got it. Purple Belt Mike, everybody. One of the greats. Austrian Jet fan says, happy Jets giving, Asmaniacs. I'll tell you what. We did have Jets giving on Thanksgiving back in 2010. And Brad Smith, without a shoe, returned to kickoff in the win over the Bengals. That's my favorite Jet Thanksgiving memory. I won't bring up the butt fumble game in 2012. Remember the Jets got their shit kicked in against the Cowboys with Kellen Clemens at quarterback in 2007. I remember that Thanksgiving as well. Tom A says, I'm thankful to the Asmaniac community. Nick Shine says, I'm very thankful for the ladies. I believe you mean you're thankful for, as Charles Gorman would say, the lovely ladies. Last chance to get in here. Black Gypsy, butt fumble was so embarrassing. The butt fumble is the most overrated play ever, though. It was only a big deal because, one, people love to make fun of the Jets, and two, it happened in a primetime game on Thanksgiving with the whole country watching. If that play happened in a 1 o'clock game on Sunday, no one would care. It'd be a thing for a couple weeks, and that'd be it. Tell me I'm wrong. The fact that people associate Sanchez with that and not 4 road playoff wins over 2 years is embarrassing. GTA says, thankful I don't have to be stressed watching this team today. Yeah, I don't like playing on Thanksgiving. I liked Black Friday last year. Like, I wish the Jets would play Black Friday every year. That'd be fun. I'd be able to make that game every year. I'm glad I didn't go to the Black Friday game last year, though. Thank God. Tim Boyle. Rick says, is Charles boycotting the show? He called in, I want to say Charles called in last week for the first time in a while. So he's not boycotting the show, but we have not heard from Charles we haven't heard from Charles as consistently as I would have hoped. Now, I don't know how many times this month, though. We could ask the committee. We could ask Tom Ace, Boomtown, and Rich, they have the data. How many times has Charles called in this month, gentlemen? If you guys know the answer. While Charles maybe hasn't called in a ton, we will always have this for some drops.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I burped.
And this.
Excuse me.
So we always have that. All right. I'm thankful for the great Charles Eugene M. Gorman. Never forget Charles' war with Gator McCluskey from over the summer. Ladies and gentlemen, last night in our Discord channel, he threatened to crack Gator McCluskey's skull. Charles Eugene M. Gorman joins us. Hello, Charles.
He was trying to be a smartass and wishing harm on other opposing teams' players. How about I wish for your skull to get fractured? And he was like,
Gator just wrote in, Charles wants to murder me. So to be clear, you don't want to crack his skull.
I don't want to murder you, Gator. Granted, you can be a smartass sometimes, but you're too much of a national treasure.
Who would want a picture with you besides someone who knows you from my show, your show, or Nick Shine's show?
That's a good question.
What if Gator was there? Would you take a picture with him? Because you did threaten to kill him in the Discord the other night.
I didn't threaten to kill him. People are taking those words out of context. He was praying for every player and every other team to get anal warts. And I said, what if I pray for you to get your skull fractured?
Yeah, what did you say?
I'll share my screen with you.
Make sure you delete your history first, Charles.
Oh, stop it. Gator says if he's not a Jet, he sucks. But I can't help it, Charles. I put my head on my pillow all night, just wishing anal warts on all non-Jets players and fans. And then I said, how about I wish for you to get your skull fractured?
But it does sound like there was some intent there, no?
Intent? What do you mean by intent?
Like there's some intent, you know?
I don't want to hurt Gator, and I don't really wish harm on the guy.
You said you don't really, though. I mean, that's not
Dan
exactly helpful.
Philcox, look how smart this dude is.
Why don't we just apologize to Gator and we'll let bygones be bygones?
Where's Gator?
No, he's in the chat. He wrote, "I'm so threatened." Damn.
I'm gonna kiss you and make up with you.
Yeah, there's no kissing on this show. It's who do you think you are here?
First of all, I'm joking.
Just like you were joking about fracturing Gator's skull, huh?
I was upset that Gator said that if they're not a Jet, they suck.
I see where Gator's coming from with that take.
What?
They're not a Jet. They're garbage.
So you think Adrian Peterson of the Vikings was a terrible football player?
He wasn't a Jet.
He's a future Hall of Famer.
What do you do
That's
for the Jets?
my opinion.
Charles embracing the gangster rapper persona, Gator. Stay safe, brother. Thoughts and prayers.
I'm not a killer. I'm not a psychopath like people claim that I am.
All right.
I have a bad temper, but I'm not a psycho.
Charles, thank you for the time. Farewell. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Eugene M. Gorman. That was tremendous. Love Charles. Happy Thanksgiving to him, especially on this day. Gator writes in, as Charles has vanished, let it be known that I have not retaliated for him cracking my skull. I have, however, been hit with a few threatening farts. Ladies and gentlemen, Most Sports Talk writes in, time for a dad joke of the day, because I can't stay on too long. How does a man take a bubble bath? He eats beans for dinner. Well done, sir. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who's great at taking a bubble bath?
Excuse me.
Charles Eugene M. Gorman, that's who. Peter Castro says, let's pray for a good GM and coach. Thank you. A winning season. Wouldn't that be nice? A winning season. Peter Castro wants a winning season. I want a winning season. We all want a winning season.
Our coaching staff stinks. The team is never prepared. They're undisciplined. They make a million mistakes. And the coaching staff is terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hackett and him are like having two drug addicts on the sidelines. They're no good. And if Rodgers doesn't fix this, we're all going to kill ourselves. What happens after Rodgers? They have no plan for that. It's going to be 10 more years of being a shit.
Thank you very much, Peter. Well said. Well said. Hit the like button before you get out of here. Another reminder to join the Patreon if you haven't. We're offering a 25% discount on merch items through Cyber Monday. Normally it's 15% for Patreon users. So Get your merch ahead of the holidays. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Thank you all for your support. Another reminder, 3 to 7 tomorrow, filling in on the Michael K Show. It'll be me and Ty Butler, 2 Jet fans, oh, by the way. And I should mention this, Mike Tannenbaum is joining us tomorrow at 5 p.m. I'll be asking Tanny about the 33rd team hiring this team's next coach and GM. All right? So I will ask the questions that the Jet fans want to know. Promise you that. Does Rex have a chance? I'll ask Tannenbaum that. Has to be done. The questions have to be asked. Depending on what Tannenbaum says.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas.
I might be losing my gosh darn bananas, Boy Green style. Chris J gifted a membership right as I was about to start to wrap up the show. Chris, thank you very much. 1 gifted membership. Let's find out who is the recipient of said membership.
Oh, nice.
Listener David Torres is a recipient of the membership. Congrats to David. And congrats, of course, to our guy, Chris J, for paying it forward. Big fella, super chat. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm thankful for all of you, even Gary. Notice he didn't say Alan. Big fella, happy Thanksgiving, my man. I really thought when you gave me this as a gift in April, we were going to be celebrating it with a division title. One day, big fella. It sits here. Just know it's ready to roll when we need it. Kyle writes in, a coach for Castro, Grable, Johnston, or Monkey. No one needs a coach more than Peter Castro. There's no doubt about it.
Once we get Ulebrick out of here, my coaching choices are Babe Brill first. Then I want a Queensberry. Got to look at Monkey from Baltimore and maybe Slow Dick in Houston.
That Bobby Slowdick. What a guy. What a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a show. Thank you all for watching. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving with family, friends, all that. We'll be back tomorrow, Fireman Ed, 10:30 a.m. So we're giving you a Black Friday show. Then I'm doing 4 hours of radio. So you'll get 4 hours of me on the radio if you're interested. I have plans to do a Saturday show. And then I'm on the radio on ESPN New York from 4 to 5:30 Sunday, right after the Jet game. So then we'll do the Jet post-game show on YouTube around 5:30 on Sunday. So no days off around here. I don't care what holiday it is. I don't care what's happening with the Jets. Every day there's content on this channel. That's how we have over 40,000 subscribers. So thank you for your continuous support. We could not do it without you. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching. My name is Jake Asman. Turkey is overrated. Enjoy the day. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with Fireman Ed. Thanks again, and go Jets.
Right now, what I need to have happen, Charles, I need you to put on the Gorman tank. It's Friday. The vibes are high. Put on the Charles Gorman-inspired Jake Asman Show tank top for the people.
I will maybe next week.
What? Put it on. Put it on. Oh, my God, he's doing it.
Football is back, bitches.
Give us one more spin around, all right?
Give us the full modeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the ass. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Charles, would you like to respond to Gator? He says you look like you combed your hair with a pack of firecrackers. How come you didn't congratulate him?
I did on the baby. Yeah, he had a.
You didn't say this, though.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Congrats on the sex. Oh, my God.
Yeah, how do you think babies are made?
No, it's funny. True story. When I was a kid, I actually thought I came from a stork. I shit you not, man. Like, you know, when you have all these dreams and shit, it's like, you know, here you go, here's your baby. That's what happened to me when I was a kid.
So to be clear, you were not acquired via stork, right?
Yes, I was biologically made by my mother and father.
Dennis Gorman?
And my mother, Roseanne.
Shout out to them. They did a great job with you, Charles.
Was it sweet and passionate, or are you unaware of those details?
Why do I need to know those details?
I don't know. Maybe it would have. I mean, you wanted to know whether it was stork or baby making, so I don't know. Just figured you'd want intricate levels of detail.
My parents made love twice. They gave birth to my brother, and they gave birth to me.
Okay. Thank you very much for clearing that up.